Welcome to the Albert Clark Show, a transformative podcast where we embark on a profound journey through the key themes of life. Join us as we delve into the rich narratives woven into the works of acclaimed author Albert Lynn Clark, known for his compelling novels Lightning and Thunder, A Miracle Love Story, An Ancient Destiny, Escape from Earth. In each episode, we will explore essential life topics such as miracles, love, hope, loss, destiny, and transformation. Through heartfelt discussions, personal stories, and insightful interviews with guests, Albert will guide us in understanding how these themes shape our lives and connect us to one another. Whether you're seeking inspiration, healing, or a deeper understanding of your own journey, this podcast is designed to resonate with your heart and mind. Tune in as we celebrate the currents of life that unite us all, illuminating the path toward love, hope, and personal growth.
A testament of faith, a beacon of light.
This is Albert Clark. I want to talk about my Ancient Destiny series. Survivors is the fourth volume in the series. And if you remember from volume 3, we met with the Galactic Empire, which was a solar system with multiple planets, with different non-human intelligences. And at the end of our meeting, they decided to make women a major part of their society, where they had been just basically slaves. And they acknowledged that they had sent a probe to Earth, and they had discovered survivors there. So SHIP, now it's 30 years past when they evacuated Earth and moved to build colonies on other planets, and SHIP with its crew. Remember, there's 2 new crew members now that were replaced because of the original crew members decided to stay behind on planets. So now we've got a Chinese from the planet of Vulcan, which was the Chinese planet because they were sent to a separate planet because they were warlike instead of being intent on surviving of humanity. They wanted to conquer humanity, so they got sent to a separate planet. But they found a female member there that was exceptionally bright and found a way to be able to use Impervium, the new metal discovered that was almost impervious to everything, but she found a way to cut it and weld it like ordinary steel, which was impervious before. That's why it's called Impervium. But she found a way to manipulate it into other things. So she became a member of the crew, and then they gained another member of the crew when one of their original crew members decided to stay behind to be the president of the planet Pyramid, which got that name because it had leftovers of a civilization that had been there and created buildings and cities and pyramids for power. And she decided to stay behind because they were having political issues there on the planet, and she used her knowledge from the ship to be able to become the president and to get the people working together again instead of arguing with each other. They weren't having war or anything like that, but they were arguing about who should be president. And so she became president. Everybody voted for her unanimously, and she restored peace and harmony in the colony. And she was replaced by somebody from that planet that was a computer whiz that could help in developing software for the future. Anyway, so they traveled back to Earth to see if there really was a survivor or two on the planet. And when they went back, they discovered that uh, South Texas, which was warmer than the rest of the planet because of basically a nuclear winter, because of the dust created by the asteroid, caused clouds all over the Earth and cooled off the Earth to the point it was pretty frigid. But South Texas was closer to the equator and warmed up first, and there were survivors there because of a member of the Texas Society that had created huge bunkers, underground bunkers, had underground storage for fuel trucks with fuel and propane and so forth to provide heat for the survivors in the local area. And he gathered in a small community. Well, when they went back, they discovered that community in South Texas, which was on the opposite side of the planet from where the asteroid hit. Where the asteroid hit in Asia, they were on the other side of the planet in Texas, which is closer to the equator, so it warmed up first, and they started, and it had an existing oil industry that was very big, and they reopened some of the refineries, got the oil wells working again, and they had power. And by having power, they were able to restart civilization there. But they had missed out on a lot of things. Their manufacturing was not really working very well, so they were basically reworking old things that had survived the impact of the asteroid, because being on the opposite side of the Earth, they didn't feel the big impact. And the ship went back, found them, helped them out with a few things along the way. The society there was not just Texas, but other people that survived in the southern states, and they sort of united around Texas. And the ship went back and provided some special things that for power generation that were made out of impervium, so it would never wear out. And they were able, and with the petroleum industry semi-working again, they helped perfect that and got everything back together again. So humans are surviving on Earth, even though it's only a small number, a few thousand people versus billions that were there before. And they were cooperating, they had a pretty good civilization going, but the ship stayed with them for a while, helping them out with critical areas where they didn't have the technology that they needed, and ship provided some special items. Remember, ship can't mass produce things, but they can produce a few small things. So the ship provided some small things made out of impervium that would last forever, and which would help long-range survival of the few humans left on southern states in the Americas that were not glaciated over, because with the nuclear winter from the dust from the impact, it basically brought back the next ice age, and much of the northern and southern parts of the world were covered with glaciers, except for near the equator. And then in their time spent on Earth, which was a few months, they discovered that the remnants of Atlantis had actually created ships. Now, their ships were not faster than light ships. They were generational ships, as they found out, as they traveled the trail of where Atlantis went to when they left Earth because of the Great Flood. So anyway, they came across some ships that had been deserted because something had happened to the nucleus of the ship, where they were no longer being able to generate power. And what it amounts to is these ships were huge ships, miles across, but they were built like a wheel. So the wheel would turn, providing artificial gravity in the outer rim to where people could walk around with gravity as the ship traveled, sort of, and it's like a big wheel that was going sideways across space, with the propulsion in the center point, which was nuclear powered. But by a few small asteroids hitting the ships, they destroyed the central part. So that meant that the survivors on that ship had to either transfer to another ship, or they were jettisoned as excess weight on the ship until pretty soon the ship was totally empty. But they found several ships along the way, and when they found the first ship, they found their plan for where they were going to go in star systems. And so they kept following the trail until they came across Atlantis. It was a solar system with 3 planets. They had a central government that ruled all 3 planets. But again, they used women just like in the original ship book. The women were considered concubines. They did not have a life of intelligence that could be used, so it was strictly a male-dominated society. And when ship went there with its crew and worked with that Atlantis civilization of 3 planets rotating around one sun, they got women involved in the system again. And they also discovered a major thing. Because the ships were generational ships that took 1,000 years to get to the next solar system, where the Atlantis now exists in a different solar system, they discovered one thing: Atlantis did not build ship. Who built ship? If it wasn't Atlantis, who built ship? What was it? Where was the advanced civilization that built an anti-gravity multi-speed of light ship? Wasn't Atlantis. They're advanced, but they're not that advanced, and they regularly travel back and forth between the planets in that solar system, but they're using propulsion rockets. They're not using anti-gravity power like ship does. So there's another civilization out there somewhere that's very, very far advanced. And again, they promote women to the point that women start becoming a more active part of their civilization and providing a long-term solution. Well, in their traveling to Atlantis, they were contacted by another civilization that was very advanced. They used telepathy across space and time. They found that a few of their people had advanced telepathy capabilities, and they were communicating telepathically, because telepathically the thought goes instantly to another telepath. It doesn't require electricity, it doesn't require long distance communication. Basically, it's instantaneous. You think this, they think that. So, but it's augmented by electronics, to where it enhances the human capability to read thoughts across multiple distances. So there is another civilization out there that's very far advanced, that developed a ship to start with to provide a means for humanity and intelligence to travel to other planets to create societies around the universe. Again, this is in the same arm of the galaxy. We're not traveling through the center of the galaxy, which is 100,000 light years across, and they're not traveling to another galaxy. They're just traveling to another arm of the existing Milky Way galaxy. But we have a mission there somewhere to be able to telepathically contact the big intelligence, the galaxy rulers that have really advanced technology with, like, faster than light anti-gravity ships. And they provide, the advanced technology provides some ships to use for communication and cargo between the colonies created by Earthlings in the different solar systems that they have migrated to. So anyway, I didn't write that book originally. I wrote the first 3 books very, very quickly in only a few weeks. And I didn't write the 4th book until my readers said, wait a minute, you gave me these clues, but you didn't finish the story. So this sort of wraps up the story in that the ship eventually returns back to its human ancestors or human colonies, and they have communication telepathically. Again, Karen, the survivalist, is not a scientist, but she happens to be the more telepathically capable, and she becomes the telepath of ship to be able to communicate with their galactic superiors. Although the galactic superiors are not warlike, they don't want to control anybody, but they're there to help intelligence across the galaxy. So anyway, that's volume 4 of the science fiction series. I wrote it 5 years later because of my readers said, wait a minute, you left me clues, but you didn't finish the story. Well, this is sort of finishing the story. It could go on because, gee, we could go try to find that galactic intelligence that is helping intelligent life across the galaxy. But we'll save that for another book or 2 or 3. Anyway, so we now have existing colonies that are up and running. We've met some non-human intelligences. We found out where Atlantis went to, and they're pretty much human because that's where we came from, is Atlantis landing on Earth and creating the human life. But so anyway, I hope you read volume 4. It's Ancient Destiny, volume 4, Survivors, because we found survivors in book 4. And we also found out where Atlantis went in book 4. And now we're sort of in stasis. And I'm not writing another book yet. I don't know what book I'll write next, but I could write a 5th and 6th and 7th novel in the series, but I haven't started them yet because I've been busy promoting these books. Hopefully this science fiction series of 4 books will be turned into a movie series, or maybe a long-term TV series like Star Wars or Star Trek, but we'll see. Anyway, goodbye for now. I hope you enjoy all the books, and they're available on Amazon and other online bookstores, and hopefully they will be available in regular bookstores on a regular basis and become popular. I would like everybody to read them because they promote artificial intelligences, female mental capabilities, and a little bit of history and a future. How are we going to get off this Earth without faster than light travel? Ain't going to happen, because you can't get there from here unless you have a multi-generational ship like were developed by Atlantis, where it provides artificial gravity by circular motion of a big wheel in space that's gradually turning to provide centrifugal force to mimic gravity, and spend generations getting from one place to another in space, not faster than light travel. So look forward to book 5 when I get around to writing it. Enjoy. It's available everywhere. So with that, I will call Ancient Destiny for now closed. Goodbye.